Now that's funny. No, stick around. We need to know how to create data forms in Office. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Weekly Wednesday Lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons/live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. Thank you so much for being here. I am Community Manager Cordovan here on a fabulous Wednesday afternoon. We have got so much going on. It is nuts. Absolutely nuts is what it all is. So, first off, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your interest in Charn. We are getting very, very close to starting our pre-order campaign, which we said would be coming in March, and still is. Stay tuned for more news, let's say within the next day or so. Alright, so, with that out of the way, also, odds are very good that we're going to be having a downtime tomorrow from about 9 a.m. to noon. That'll be to release our next patch. It does have some bug fixes and all that sort of thing in there, too. For completely reasons I'm sure you'll never figure out, I'm not going to be posting the release notes until after the downtime is done. And that's going to be most likely, assuming it checks out on QA this afternoon, and probably tomorrow morning, so, yeah. Yep. So the other big piece is PAX East kicks off in Boston tonight, basically now. And so besides a whole bunch of industry people and all that in town, you know, it kind of makes the Boston area game dev scene feel a little bit like Silicon Valley or California, because there's just so many companies and reps and former coworkers and, you know, friends and what have you over the years that a lot of game devs do. So this is our kind of a big holiday weekend here that kicks off. And tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern at Wagamama, at the Boston Seaport, basically within walking distance of the convention center, we are going to be having a DDO and Lord of the Rings Online player meetup. If you have not RSVP'd, odds are not very good that you will be able to get in. Unfortunately, due to the way the seating happened this year, we were able to get a confirmed 30 seats, which is really great for a Thursday night of PAX at 7 p.m. Eastern near the convention center. But it's only 30 seats, and I currently have 30 RSVPs. So, that means if everyone shows up who RSVP'd, there will not be extra space for you. However, there may be extra space for you, because not everyone always shows up. The other thing is you could always just get a seat at Wagamama Boston Seaport, and then stop over and say hi to us later, and we would be happy to see that. And if that doesn't work, if you're like, I can't do Thursday night, and you really want to say hi to me or something like that, get in touch. We'll figure something out. So, all right. Anyway, that's going on. We also have a bunch of folks that are going to be stopping by the office tomorrow, mostly for the Lord of the Rings Online side. We have an actual school visit. Yes, the main School of Science and Math is going to be in the building. About 9 or so kids, along with Dr. Elena Brigman from Locher Stream, if you follow that at all, is going to be in the office. We do have a couple of streamers, and I believe the proper corporate term is influencers, stopping by the office a little bit tomorrow as well, so we'll be doing that, kicking off. Basically, I'll be spending all day thinking and doing PAX. I will not, though, at least currently, I will not be at PAX the rest of the weekend. I don't have tickets this year. They went so quick. I mean, next thing I know is like, all right, well, guess not then. Which is fine, because I've got other things I could do. But if you are at PAX proper, have a great weekend here. And the reality is PAX happens outside of the convention center as much as it does in the convention center, particularly if you work for a game dev company in the Boston area. So it should be a pretty interesting week and weekend, and I hope everyone has a really good time. Correct. In a few minutes, I am going to be on Wayfinder this week. I just wanted to get kind of the news out of the way. Yes, it is true. We almost ran out of March, but looks like we're going to make it happen here. So, yeah. Is that lunchtime vodka in a can? No, Hat Golf. I don't drink alcohol. Not anymore. I've been alcohol free for quite a few years, so no vodka for lunch for me. No, no. So I actually do have DDO.com 13th anniversary. Oh, wow. Nope, you don't see my holy shirt because I love this sweater too much. All right, so you do see DDO.com/13th anniversary. The reason I have that still up on the live stream is that's where the coupon codes reside for those free cloaks. So I believe the most recent one is free to wear, and then we'll be kicking off another one tomorrow. You can do that, basically redeem those through the end of the year, so you've got plenty of time on that. Druid's Fire says, I know some people who spend the whole weekend in meetings in the Westin. Yeah, that happens too. Wood H waits for something on the West Coast other than SDCC. Well, you actually have quite a bit to choose from because you've got E3, who's probably the biggest game dev thing in California, but there's a whole bunch of them. Frankly, California is rife with cool game-related meetups. Is there going to be another preview on Lamania? Yes. I don't have an exact date that I personally know. Coke Majobo is working on the efforts on that one. And I know that we are doing another... Actually, I think we are doing our first... I think the next Lamania, unless I'm mistaken, may be one of our first Sharn content previews. And I would imagine that would be fairly soon. I don't think this week, but fairly soon. So that'll be the next Lamania. Oh, I have a message about the 13th anniversary live stream returning soon on the Beholder video. Well, it is returning soon, assuming you stop the video and play the archive. Does posting in the general forum require your account to be premium? No. There is, however, when you first sign into a free account on the DDO forums, there's a waiting period for free accounts to be able to post anywhere except for in the new player advice and guidance section. And that's an anti-spam requirement that we have to have because people can create free accounts, and if we didn't do that, theoretically instantly spam the forums, we would get a whole lot more spam on our forums than we do, which is not much usually. But that's why we have to do that. So, yes, eventually. I can't say how long because I don't want to tip off the spammers, but, you know, within a reasonable human amount of time, then you can post elsewhere. Janara, I'm not going to lie, you write. I heard you're putting off Sharn pre-orders until Shoemaker completes a specific quest on Reaper 10. Do you have any comment on this obvious joke? This is true. I am here to announce that until Shoemaker completes the Crucible solo on Reaper 10, we will not be releasing Sharn. That's not true. I am a liar. What will the sales be this week? Can't say, but I can tell you what the bonus is going to be, and that is going to be a Buddy Boost weekend. We want to get people ready for what's coming in the near future, so if you are interested in playing with your friends this weekend, we're going to be giving you a nice XP boost with a Buddy Boost. That means I think we're going both raids and quests. I need to double check on that, but I'm pretty sure it's raids and quests, which usually means 5%. That would give you up to 25% additional XP in parties and up to 55% in raids. and that'll be this weekend. Should be kicking off tomorrow morning. Probably when we come up from the downtime, it'll be active, and that'll go through Sunday, being shut off following Monday morning. Obscure hidden games. Basically, this person plays Lotro as well. Did we ever see SSG doing a joint VIP account for both games? Not really. I just don't really see that would work. To some extent, the game's economies are different, and I don't know. I don't know. I just don't really see that happening. I'm sorry. Yep. YouTube. TSTC's wallet is ready. Hey, all right. Liquid lunch equals best lunch. I really can't say too much more about Sharn, since you will all be seeing that in the near future yourself. But it's not going to be dissimilar to what we've done during previous efforts like this. What is the cloak code for the week? It is free to wear, and the new one is going to be tomorrow. I'm keeping it a secret. Sorry. Yes, Growler, I am actually I do this role for both games. Yes. Okay, let me make sure I'm set. I'm just bringing in some people who I see in my chat. Welcome. I have no idea what I'm doing yet. I guess I'll find out in a second. I'm going to do daily dice. That's what I'm going to do. I'm on my level 28 Barbarian on Wayfinder. Makdo. I like this character. Ooh, let's see if the stream luck holds up. No, not bad. All right. I think I'm on last on Wayfinder, because if I recall, last time I was here, I did Legendary Shroud, I think. Is that right? I was looking at my quest to see what it is I want to run. Anyone got any personal thoughts? Probably heroic questing here. Yes, I like that idea. Let's do Creeping Death and Curse the Sky. That sounds good. Let's do that. I will be on Galanda relatively soon. After Wayfinder, it goes back to the... So I'll be Wayfinder next week, then Argo, Caneth. Yes, I am doing the math in my head. Then Galanda. Right now I am on Wayfinder on a level 28 Barbarian. All right. It would be cool if we had an outfit that was a classic long kilt that doubles as a blanket. I like that idea, Bruce Shepard, and by the way, I will be wearing a kilt tomorrow. Yes, this is actually happening, folks. The reason being is I lost it was a challenge for this year's Extra Life. I think it originated in the Lord of the Rings Online community, but was a joint effort to succeed, where we raised $20,000 for Extra Life, and as a result, I have agreed to wear a kilt to the PAX East party. But since I'm going straight to the PAX East party, does somebody... Let me see. Yeah. Unfortunately, Taito, you're too low level. Sorry. But because I'm going straight to the PAX East party from work, That means I'm wearing it to work tomorrow. So, oh my God. Yes, there we go. C. Padkins. Hey, Cordovan, when you did the preview of Sharn a few weeks ago, I noticed many of the graphics are similar to Stormreach. Are we going to see new graphics, like we did with Evening Star, or will the graphics of the city be much the same as Stormreach? I would say they will not be much the same as Stormreach. There is shared cultural architecture. This is Eberron, after all. That said, yep. Feel free to come on in, Creeping Death. It will be different. The Sharn is known as the City of Towers, and it's a very vertical kind of looking place. And the cogs, which we've talked about a little bit, and you will learn more about shortly, are also very different from, I think, what you're used to. So there's definitely, it's going to both look like Eberron, but also not look like Stormreach, would be my personal opinion on that. Zivan, the gathering is at Wagamama Seaport. Unfortunately, we are full up on RSVPs, so if you do want to show up, you are, of course, welcome to. But I can't guarantee you a seat or a place. You may have to just kind of do the restaurant thing and wait for a table to open up or something like that. And that's, sorry, but that's just the reality of this year's PAX meetup. I actually had a lot of interest this year, which was great. But unfortunately, it kind of, at the last couple of weeks, I had a change in plans. And so I had to kind of scramble to find space, which was great that I was able to find sort of last-minute space for 30 people near the convention center like that. But it was only 30 people, so, for both games, including some SSG peeps.
Garko's minions bar you from proceeding further into the sewer complex.
Let me actually get my, I think my mouse might be running out of batteries. It seems to be a little on the inaccurate side right now. That's pretty funny, Brian. So, pre-sale date, Rick Cool over on Facebook. Stay tuned. We're really close on the Sharn pre-sale date. We will hopefully have some more news to share with you within the next day or so. Touching the keyboard. All right. Oh no. Sorry, Bruce. Good luck on that. Yeah. Actually, Jinchara, you heard it here first about 20 minutes ago. But you heard it again here first, just now. My mouse is kind of skipping on the surface here, so I'm not quite sure. There's nothing on the surface. Anyway, if my gameplay is looking a little weird, I'm having some mouse problems here. Is this the new race? No, Teresa. The new race will be the Tiefling, which will be available with the pre-order of Sharn, but this is not it. This particular character is simply a Purple Dragon Knight. I started at level 15 so I could kind of get ahead on Wayfinder a little bit, and I've just kept this level of fighter because I just... why not? And otherwise I'm just pure barbarian here on this particular character. It's kind of just a real quick roll, in my opinion, halfway still viable build that you can put together. Just, you know, top out Frenzy Berserker, put the rest in Ravager, and call it done. I actually really like this character. This was, in many ways, a guinea pig build for the build that I ended up further developing on Arganessen, which is a TR'd character that was just like a cleric, but I wanted to start getting past lives to get up to that 36-point builds on that character. And, so TR'd into basically a variant of this build, and this was just kind of me testing out a few concepts to see whether it was actually going to work for me or not. So we'll have more information about like how many quests are in Sharn and such in the near future. Any more news on more safety nets to help out with TR bugs that have happened in the past? So we've done a lot of work, our engineering team has done a lot of work in recent patches to resolve, hopefully, those issues, so that even if they were to occur, and they should not be occurring right now, but even if they were to occur, that specific form of like lost items on TR thing, we should now have the method to help people who experience it currently. But no one has experienced it since we did those issues. That's not to say there were no TR issues. That just means to say that particular one that is kind of been the largest community concern for a long time should now be a thing of the past.
A ladder slides in place, allowing easier access to this ledge. As the third rune is activated, a hum can be heard from the hallway outside. The teleportation sigil has been activated.
And if we have new things to look at, well, then we will look at those new things. So.
Magic washes over the gelatinous cube when Garko strikes the sigil. The kobold vanishes, teleported to a different section of the sewer complex.
No, I did not say purple tieflings. If I did, that was incorrect. Purple Dragon Knight is what this particular character is. I was asked what character this was. Was this a tiefling? And the answer is no. This is a Purple Dragon Knight. Pure barbarian. Except for the one level of fighter, because I've been too lazy to swap it out. No, it's because of a highly strategic build choice is why I've chosen to not swap it out. sword. My sword. Good thing I actually didn't have the one I wanted equipped anyway. Alright. Oh, you said purple tieflings would be cool, not that they are making them. Oh, that's cool. I guess I misunderstood you. Good job, Oozes. Or I could probably have put on something with Oozebane rather than just break my weapons. But, you know. Who's got time for that? Not this guy. Instead, I'm going to use Ghostbane on these Oozes. That'll totally up my DPS. Yep.
The second sigil can be seen on the far side of the
When is Monkey Grip going to be a feat? Probably not.
Is an unlit rune.
That one's that's an oldie but goodie. But that's there's always been some real kind of DDO specific balance concerns with that one. Ah, yep, there we go. Cool. You know, we have thought about how we would do some kind of in-store charity drive thing. But ultimately, for logistics and other reasons, it's never really made sense to go that route. Link my sword. My sword is kind of garbage. This character is not, you know, fully developed, shall we say. This character is kind of a whatever character. Which is why I'm still using kind of garbage weapons here. Mostly just a solar sort of disruption. Oh, but that's actually good. Oh no, I already used it. If only I had a Raiders reward box. I'm just running this for the heck of it, really. To be honest, whatever I get is fine. This character is level 28. At some point, I'd like this character to be level 30, and that's really why I'm running this quest, and just to kind of hang out on the stream. That G cube didn't look so fresh. Well, it does have a kobold in it. Just saying. Trying to actually get this guy taken care of here. Nice. Gonna use the shrine, get my adrenaline back.
The rune sparks to life as the lever is pulled. The hum of similar runes can be heard in the main chamber. The underwater passage leads down towards an unknown location.
Why did the Raiders Reward Box only have caught in the web items in it? The reason for that is history. That item, the Raiders Reward Box, was originally created.
The rune activates, and the sound of a lowering drawbridge can be heard in the distance.
That item was created back in Menace of the Underdark. There was an issue. I can't remember what the issues were with Menace, or whatever. There was some issues that cropped up that where we decided to reward everyone with a Raiders Reward Box, where they would get a free Caught in the Web item, because that was the raid that it was rewarding for. And then, due to the way that was distributed, there was an issue that cropped up with it, that we ended up distributing a second box to some folks because they didn't get the first box. And so it's just kind of sat around really ever since then as an item that existed. And now we're in a position where we can, we wanted to find something that we could do, right, for that kind of thing. And so it made sense to offer that again as an item, because it is older power item, so it's not going to super impact balance. It's free sentient XP at the very least for people who want it, things like that. So when we were trying to figure out fairly quickly what made sense to give out along with the XP elixirs in that, to try to kind of make people whole from our extended downtime that we had earlier this month, that the Raiders Reward Box just kind of came up and ended up floating to the top as a gift that made sense. But that's why it's only Caught in the Web stuff, because it was, when it was actually, the purpose it was actually created for was to distribute Caught in the Web raid reward items. The updated Raiders box was not the 10th anniversary. People think that because the contents of the Raiders Reward box were placed in the 10th anniversary gifts, but the 10th anniversary gift was not a Raiders Reward box. It was the 10th anniversary gift. We just added those items to that particular list because we had already distributed them, like I said, in years prior, and some players were like, I never got my chance. And so when it came time to do that 10th anniversary stuff, and we had already essentially cleared any kind of concerns about power or balance or anything like that, duping or whatever it is you might be able to do with any of the contents in the Raiders Reward box, since we were pretty secure on that one, it made sense to just kind of add that stuff. I'm kind of going back in my brain on history, so I hope that's correct. That's what I recall. Even asked a question about legendary green steel crafting being added to airship green steel crafting room. I do think that makes sense to happen at some point. I don't know when. Perhaps the next time, we've kind of long wanted to work on some airship stuff. And when we get to that work, that would be something that would probably make sense at that time. I actually like doing this piece. You have to dodge the cube. And complete the puzzle. Run away, run away.
The drawbridge lowers and the last sigil appears, primed and ready for its victim. The sigil fires and the gelatinous cube melts away from Garco.
Are we getting Jerry's refurbished record player to play in-game music on the ship? Yes, but I get to pick the music. Sorry. I hope you like smooth jazz.
Sounds good to me. You can pick the music.
I celebrate his entire catalog. Do we have any other extended downtime scheduled we should be aware of? No. See Padkins. We do have a little bit of kind of further optimization work that our network operations folks are doing in an ongoing basis at the data center. And some of that will be done really invisibly to the public, and that some of that will be done during our weekly restarts in future weeks and things like that. So, so it's not that there isn't further work to be done, it's that we do not expect to need any extended downtime to do it. And most of that will be done invisibly during our regular downtimes that would take place anyway. And we could work around it. Mostly like kind of routing optimization stuff. Port forwarding the bilateral engines.
Lamentations of his lost hopes and curses for his enemies.
There was not a restart this week. Stay tuned. There's some work being done right now that could lead to a downtime tomorrow, and if that is the case, we'll have more information later this afternoon on that. So. Free Kobold, stay tuned, but yes, we do have new monsters in Sharn. So that's an interesting bit of feedback there, Nick, on the why of adding legendary green steel to airships. I think that's what you're talking about, right? They have all their mats, but one thing in a bank and have to leave and go off on timer just to craft next time. Yeah, yeah. That would make sense to add that for sure. I got the key. Up. Now if I could just find my way. So, Red Piety, I am not, I think, technically allowed to say anything about it yet. But in regards specifically to your most recent comment about bag space, I think you will be interested to take a look at the upcoming release notes. How's that for a teaser?
A wave of magic passes through you as the ancient
Splat.
device activates. Your mind is now
This quest can be
in
really
formation.
tricky.
Several Abishai disengage
IMO.
and attack.
Yeah. Plus, I'm getting kind of torn apart here by Hellcat Vader. Oh no! Back away. Man, really? Why am I not, why am I not hitting? Okay.
Okay, I got him.
That's why my good weapon is gone. Oh no, and I'm out of shots. First community manager pay-to-win problems. Yeah. I'm not saying I just take the easy way out. I'm just saying it's an option. I'm tempted to say yes on that bet there, Secular Squirrel, but I better not. You did what? Yeah. No. Yeah. Nice. We've had bees and green slimes. What's next for the Cordovan fight? I have no idea. I've mentioned this before, but they don't ask me. I have no knowledge of what they're doing for the Cordovan fight every year, and in some ways I like it that way. But I never know what they're doing. My only real input was during the initial fight, where they were like, well, what would a Cordovan fight be like? And I said, well, probably be a Drow cleric, spam lots of blade barrier, and die easily. And that's the guidance that I gave to the DDO team in regard to the Cordovan fight.
Milicia the succubus peers through
I
the
guess,
sealed gate.
now I actually do know why it's Lichabelle, but I would rather that Linabelle tell that story. I don't think that's my story to tell. Same as Garobo. Drow, BB, dies, get confirmed old school Jerry. Yep. But I think seriously though, if I recall correctly, initially it was changed to bees because people on the very first iteration of the Cordovan fight had, I wouldn't say cheated or exploited or anything, because it wasn't really that, but it was kind of a cheese tactic to take advantage of the AI, where they would drag Cordovan out of the encounter or something like that. So then the next year they tried to keep people into the room by putting in the bees, and then I believe, what, the following year, or was it the same year that they added, that the Ravenloft Mistara was added? I think that was a subsequent year, but maybe I'm wrong. And then finally, it was moved to green slime
metallic
this
clay
year.
echoes
I
down
think
the
largely
hall
just
as
because
one
the
of the
bees were
gate's locks
fun and
disengages.
funny, but kind of overstayed their welcome perhaps a little bit in that fight. So it just made sense. Because we had just brought out green slime for a specific white plume, right? Yeah, white plume.
This guard room is the last holdout of the Denise forces still within the castle. The muffled grinding of gears can be heard through the walls as the lever is pulled. With both levers pulled,
Yes. I would not be surprised at all if some element from Sharn made it into the anniversary event next year. Sentient cheese for the next Cordovan fight? Yes! Yes! This is the best idea ever. Although maybe it should be tofu. Actually, back in the day, one of the first things I did after I got hired by Turbine was to send Aladrin, who was one of the big devs at the time there, a write-up of how he could make a mock duck slime in the game. Mock duck being a wheat gluten-based protein used in cooking, especially a lot of kind of Asian and vegetarian cooking, among other things. And it never happened. So yes,
the air grows
maybe.
strangely warmer as you head down the corridor.
I am in favor of this plan.
The muted sound of metal dragging against stone can be heard under the water.
I know we're pretty short on time, but not so short that we shouldn't do this optional. What if I screwed up this character by picking something in an off destiny or something? I don't see my adrenaline recharging. My spirit animal, I don't know if it would be a corgi. I'm not actually a big dog person. I like dogs just fine, but I've never owned one.
As Marcella falls, she gasps.
There is no way you can defeat our master now.
What would my
Erythraeus
spirit animal be?
will triumph.
I think I'd be a platypus. You know, Slimy Green Slime, we said a room full of Cordovans, you have to find the real one. I had actually, I believe, suggested that at one time after we came out with Multitude of Menace. That perhaps we do one of the boss fights where one of the members of the team is like, I need to meet deadline, or I need to get the patch out, or I need to get this check-in done. And so they spawn a million versions of them to get the work done faster, so that the, because people often will sometimes feel like things can be done more quickly than they actually can sometimes. And so it'd be kind of a light kind of nod to that little piece of DDO culture and lore. All done here, all done here. We're ready. Oops. Oh, if I could just... Yes, I too even get turned around in here. Usually around this point. It's all these octagonal rooms. That's true, a duck might not be the worst choice for my spirit animal. It would make some sense.
It's nice to keep a girl waiting.
Yeah.
Malicia says. You look so surprised.
I was just thinking much less critically about that a Callan 245 and saying maybe a platypus because I'm weird. That was literally my extent of it. Let's bring out a greater Maybugs. Oh, I can't while I'm raged.
But I can't really let you live now that you know that. She adds with a shrug. Goodbye. Time to die.
Tim Schrader and some other folks on Facebook asking about when on Sharn. We will have more information soon, very soon, hopefully within the next day or so. And we will have that on social media, on the launcher, and elsewhere as soon as we can. I really hope sometime we follow up on this particular story thread where Malicia gets a hint that we have to defeat her on her home plane to truly defeat her. And I would love for us to actually get to that little bit of story sometime. Yes, Secular Squirrel. There will be a new Lamania soon. I don't know exactly when though. No, I don't even want to. I don't want to speculate. But yes, it'll be pretty soon. Home plane being cheats mind, the irony. Now that would be funny. No. No, because, I mean, you actually... There are some clues, frankly, if you follow the lore, and I'm not going to give them away to you right now, but if you look at the various places that Malicia shows up and who she's with and all that other kind of stuff, you, too, may learn some things. Legendary Pendant of Apparition. Not particularly valuable. Well, healing amp, I guess, but I almost certainly have something else in my next slot. You can never say no to hamp if you have the space. All right, that is going to wrap it up with the show here today. If you're in my party with me, I will get you a points code later on today in the in-game mail. Since I will soon be flagged, when am I planning to play Legendary Shroud on that character? I'm down. I'm down for whenever, as soon as time permits. I love Legendary Shroud. And I like Wayfinder, so I'd be totally down for that. Let's see if we can set something up. What can we say about Keep on the Borderlands? Nothing that we haven't already said. The general idea is it's going to be a low-level adventure, an alternative for experienced players to Korthos. Not alternative in the sense that you will, say, not start on the beach or whatever, but alternative in the sense that you can play this rather than Korthos stuff if you wish. And we mentioned some do. To level yourself up. There's also going to be some higher level version of it. Exact details TBD. The Raiders reward box was because the 20th run counter stopped working. Thank you, Torin, on YouTube. Yes, that is correct. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I will see you next Wednesday for the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. Have a great time. Bye-bye.